I'm Alpina Singh. On Check Please, we're lucky enough to explore the vast array of amazing Chicago restaurants, and some of our favorites are the selection of sensational seafood spots. So in this week's show, whether it's raw, smoked, or in the shell, we're going to take a look back at some of the best seafood places we've covered over the last 19 years here on the show. First up, a unique spot for sushi on the move. A star chef wows our guests with fantastic fish and much more. But first, mariscos and mariachis at a lively beach shack.
Oh, you expect fiesta. It's a great environment, the atmosphere, the food, the norteño bands, the music, it's palm trees. There is no way to describe it. You need to come here.
It's not like every other seafood that we have in Chicago. It's really, even the names are unique, like the rompecolchón, the mattress breaker, the paella, the camarones palapa. Some people come here like early in the morning and will leave like at 8 at night, you know, just because they get to relax and forget that they're in Chicago for a minute or two.
They also say, oh, and you know what, it's BYOB, take your own stuff, and it's a nice patio outdoors, and that they like a lot of the dishes. I mean, people get really fascinated. It's fulfilling. We feel just so happy.
I chose it because it's kind of this unexpected restaurant. I had to be convinced to go. I live in the neighborhood, and then my partner said, hey, there's this Mexican seafood restaurant there now, let's go get some ceviche. And I'm thinking, ceviche by the tracks on this corner, I'm not so sure. But we went and I was blown away. Like, the food was really good. The dishes that I really like are, there's one that's called the rompecolchón, which is a mix of seafood with rice, and I don't know what they put in terms of the spice, but it's just really amazing. The last time I was there, I tried this dish called the charolada, which is also another, no rice, but it's a mix of different seafoods, mussels, octopus, shrimp, with shell on and shell off. It's really great food.
I grew up in the culture of that restaurant. I'm half Hispanic. I just came back from Costa Rica. Before I went there, my mom is from there, and we went, and I'm like, holy cow, I'm back in Costa Rica.
I absolutely love it. It's exactly the type of place that I like to eat at. We had the pelazon. I don't know what it's basically like snow crab legs. They were super great. We also had the calamari, which came with this really spicy, like out of this world spicy garlic sauce. So good. I came there with a bunch of friends and my kids, and we had the best time.
When people think seafood, there are certain things they still think of. Clam chowder, lobster roll. When you're dealing with a chef like Giuseppe Tintori, you want to allow him to flex his muscles a little bit. So that's the modern part. So it kind of satisfies two different groups of people. We never want a customer saying, what's the big deal? You know, I don't get it. Everybody on the staff at every restaurant that we own, that's the goal. Make sure that people leave going, I get it, that's phenomenal. There's an electricity to the room. I don't think I'd ever walked into a seafood restaurant before and described it as sexy. So I think we were looking for something that was still sexy and had a buzz to it and had some electricity to it and had some volume to it. I mean, in this day and age with the amount of competition that's out there, you have to be at the top of your game. The service, the attention to detail, the room itself, the food, every aspect, you have to be fantastic. I want people coming here and having an incredible time and exceeding their expectations, like Rob said, but I also want them to say, that's cool, that's interesting, I haven't seen that before.
It's just really, really great food, interesting flavors, great seafood, and I think in a part of town where you don't always expect to have a place that's really food-oriented, the flavors and the freshness of the seafood, I think is just, it's really interesting stuff on the plate.
You decided to take your coworkers for lunch. How was it?
I did. We had a great business lunch. I took my DJs, so it was me and my guys, me and my boys.
Lunch with your DJ.
It was very nice. It was very nice, and it was a great atmosphere. I really liked it. We had fish and chips, which were wonderful. We had the halibut. My favorite were the mussels. The mussels were unbelievable. The sauce in the mussels was just phenomenal. And the bread to dip, I actually ordered more bread to dip the mussel sauce in.
All right, so Mark, you went on a romantic night out with your
Yes,
wife. How was it?
Wonderful.
Did you score some points?
I scored some points, yes.
Well, oysters are an aphrodisiac.
That they are. We didn't have the oysters, but it was pretty good. Yeah, so it was a great night. One, because we didn't expect the food to be so good. First of all, we're in the middle of America. Where do you get seafood that fresh? Oh, the eel, the barbecue eel was to die for. We had fish and chips. You gotta have fish and chips. Had the fish and chips, which was really good. The clam chowder, which was, I think, one of the most unique clam chowders I've ever had.
When we were there the other night, we got the shrimp ravioli, which was just like almost like a very classic Italian style dish with like a creamy sauce and like peas, but it also had like a little bit of red tobacco on top, which just kind of gave it like this little pop of extra unexpected sort of seafoodiness. I think it's really great, inventive seafood in a really beautiful environment.
Sushi Station is very unique style restaurant. This is style actually very popular in Japan. And kaiten means rotating the conveyor belt and the food going round and round. Just like the menu, moving menu on the belt, and they can pick whatever they want, and the people can enjoy. I think people have a lot of fun here, our unique style.
This is sushi done right. This is real sushi. There are no distractions. It's in a very, very unique setting as well. I think it's great for both advanced sushi eaters, beginners, even children will like the presentation. I highly recommend this spot.
Explain how it works.
Okay.
As I rotate my hand
Exactly.
around.
Sure. This is a traditional kaiten sushi restaurant. So that means sushi will revolve around the bar on a conveyor belt, and you simply pick the dishes that you like, and those dishes are priced according to what color your dish is that you chose.
What are your favorite sort of things to get off the conveyor belt?
The negi toro maki that they have is presented in a way that I had almost every day for lunch when I lived in Japan. I find it very hard to get that same style in Chicago, so I love that.
I was looking for a Godzilla roll, which wasn't on the conveyor, but it was on the menu. When I mentioned it to the waitress, she said, okay, I want Godzilla, anything else? And 2 minutes later, she brought one.
We did the same thing with the Godzilla roll. It
Yeah.
was very good.
And it was really, really
Yeah,
good.
the unagi was very fresh. What I loved about the place was they had a bunch of rolls that were hot, spicy. They were really good. So a lot of wasabi and a lot of jalapeno in the rolls, which is fantastic for me.
And here comes the sushi on conveyor. And you pull a plate out, and there's 4 pieces of sushi on it. And you try a piece, and as soon as you say, wow, that's pretty good, the other 3 pieces disappear to your friends at the table.
Right.
And it dawns on you like, hey, these are only $2, $3 a plate. Don't worry about it. Let's just get more. What we liked,
Right.
we'd pull more of. What we didn't like, there was still 4 people to split it. I have never ate 14 pieces of sushi, everyone being different than the one before.
Right.
Every one of them was really good. And we walked in thinking, what is this place? And we walked out like, this is a place to eat sushi. Thank you, John. I mean, this
Great.
is a place to eat sushi.
Anyone familiar with kaiten sushi, you're gonna love it there. Anyone who has never tried a kaiten sushi bar or restaurant, whatever you'd like to call that, go.
It's not date night, it's sushi night. And I want to pig out on sushi. I'm going to Sushi Station.
There's all kinds of options for seafood lovers throughout the Chicago area, especially sushi. From tiny counter spots to conveyor belts to a new wave of omakase offerings. We seem to be swimming in choices. Coming up next, a sushi lover's paradise, a market featuring fresh fish from all over the world. But next, get ready to get messy with some seafood in a sack.
I'd love the conversation to start off with the food was great, right? The core of us is just having fun. Kind of leave your table manners at the door. You come in, you relax, you put on a bib and just have a good time. We specialize in Cajun seafood with an Asian fusion twist to it. We have a lot of Asian-inspired ingredients in our house boil that gives everything the flavor.
It has no parallel in Chicago. So it is seafood that has kind of a New Orleans flair, but it has some elements of, like Vietnamese culture in it. And you have the crawfish or the crab and the shrimp in a plastic bag, along with you can get potatoes and corn and sausage. And so it's all boiled up. So it's just like a big bag of fun.
Loved the place, but it was a trip. And it was just because I had no idea what to expect. I'm not really used to eating in that style anyway. People were just in the rows, mowing down on this food, just people were there to eat. Yep. And we carefully chose, we had some nice recommendations, but all of a sudden this bag plops down on the table and, my face went blank, and luckily the day kind of leaned in and took control, and we ended up breaking crab legs, peeling shrimp, feeding each other a little bit. And I like to say it was an extremely greasy version of Lady and the Tramp.
And there's nothing angry about it. This place is so great. I love it. I went with one girlfriend, and I almost wish we had about 5 other people with us. We ordered 2 1-pound bags we got clams and we got shrimp, and then we got calamari. So we had a ton of food. We had a ton left over. A level of spicy that you may or may not be prepared for, and I don't think we were quite prepared for the one we got, but it was still so good. An awesome experience from start to finish.
And it's unparalleled to any place in the city.
When people walk into Kaizen, they would expect great food, fresh, great service. Yeah. People have more food knowledge nowadays. There's more competition, there's more restaurants, so pretty much you have to be more creative. Yeah. Side by side. Side by side, yeah. We work together, we're both in the bar, and I'll jump in sometimes in the kitchen if it needs it, but he does most of the sashimi, I'll do the rolls. We put everything into it, every little detail, it's a part of us. And then we get to do it all over again.
Well, first, any sushi lover knows that the most important thing at any sushi restaurant is the fish. And every bite from everything on the menu we've tried multiple times going has always been fresh and delicious. It's presented beautifully, they're creative flavors, and it's unexpected, and it's just very well balanced. Not to mention the atmosphere is very comfortable, kind of a trendy Asian fishing town. You can get traditional sushi there, and it's phenomenal, but you can also try unique mixtures, unique ways that they maybe fire or put a little bit something on the fish so it gives it a little more flavor, but the flavor of the fish is always predominant.
They have private booths, and we each did the chef's tasting. 12 courses, very reasonably priced. I love poppers, a lot of us do. The unagi poppers were phenomenal. Fiesta maki, tuna maki, lots of maki. They had oysters, like almost in martini glasses, little martini glasses, yes. Oh, boy.
The quality of the food was awesome. We had the angry crab, which was unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Yes, absolutely. I like the spicy tuna rolls, which were excellent. Another thing that we had, the octopus rolls. It is very fresh.
Kaizen is a upbeat, trendy, fishing town themed, creative sushi joint.
One of the best sushi restaurants in Chicago, from the price point to the service, fantastic.
Some people be like, oh, come here, try Boston Fish Market, and then they see the quality of the fish, and I think it opens their eyes.
All fresh fish coming in. They expect nothing but the best. You name it, snapper, grouper, halibut, swordfish, fresh salmon for New Zealand, Scotland, Norway, Iceland.
The portions, everybody just goes crazy for it. They just love it. They can't believe, oh, is this for, I ordered one portion, they think it's like 2 or 3.
They love it. They say, wow. I mean, they see the plates,
Yeah.
and when they taste the food, they ask me for couch to lay down. They relax.
Never a dull moment, and it's never the same job every day. Every day is different. Never boring.
It makes you feel good. When you see somebody eating, it makes you feel good. You know what I mean? Make you, happy.
I just want them to spread the word and tell them how great the food is, and hopefully they come back.
I love it. I love seafood. And the massive proportions that they give of seafood is exceptional. Now, do not expect to go there and get any steak or chicken. Okay. It is completely seafood. They got the shrimp, they got crab legs, lobster tails, just whatever you want, they got it. Lake fish, perk fish, smelt, whitefish, walleye. They do the po' boy, scallops. They have so many different types of seafood.
You know what? I'm a seafood lover like you.
Yes.
And it's like the mothership. It's like,
Yes.
all are welcome, come into the light. I mean, when we were waiting in line, the runners were going by, and I was kind of like, whoa.
Yes, when you see the plates come out.
And that salad, that Greek salad is this big for the half order, and you can get it without lettuce. And I had enough for lunch the next day,
Yes,
and I was
yes.
so amazed.
I walked in and you hear the bouzouki music playing and everyone's got the little aprons. I'm like, what the? I thought this was just like a fish market, full-on Greek restaurant, like Greek wines, Greek beer. I was there during a lunchtime. The sandwiches were enormous, like you were saying, Alicia. Everything there, it comes in portions that will stun you. Mountains of fries
Yes.
with like lemon and malt vinegar, beautiful. The sandwiches were just stellar. I had the fried whitefish, so I think it was tilapia.
Yes.
That thing was it was kind of falling apart in my sandwich, but every bite was heaven. The shrimp is, I think each shrimp is about that big.
Colossal, colossal.
We had the oysters Rockefeller, which I normally have like regular oysters, but I'm like, oh, we have to try something different. They're like this big, each oyster, and I mean, it was amazing. And we had crab legs and then the grouper. It's like, the portions were amazing. You will get great portions for the price, and it's fresh all the way.
Here's a Chuckley secret. One of the many reasons we love featuring seafood restaurants is the cuisine looks really colorful and fantastic on camera. While we continue our journey under the sea with an award-winning Riverside Smokehouse, a city-centric seafood mainstay, but now a Chinatown hole-in-the-wall with gourmet fare.
When people come here, we expect them to have a great food experience. We want, first and foremost, really different flavors that they would have not experienced. We want them to hopefully experience something that is authentically us. Sometimes it can be really messy, especially with the seafood. You have to use your hands a lot sometimes, and of course the sauces get all over your hands. But it's really, really great when you see like Chinese and non-Chinese alike just kind of like stuffing their faces. They don't really care that they're getting a little bit dirty. They're just enjoying themselves. It's amazing.
I stumbled into this restaurant the first time I went there, and I keep going back after that first visit. I think they do food really well. Like, that's what they do. You don't go there to be wowed by their fancy anything. Really, their fancy anything. You just go for the food. They do all of their seafood really well. Their hot and sour soup is phenomenal. I hope someone recommended that to you. And also, we had soft-shelled crab while we were there, and we reordered it. That's how much we loved it. So anything seafood, and definitely.
They have a tank.
They have the tank, yes.
Right.
They have the tank of sea creatures that you can order fresh.
We ordered the seafood stir-fried rice with pineapple, which was delicious, but I had to search for the shrimp. It was like cut up 18 times. It was so tiny, you know, and I'm used to whole shrimps in my shrimp fried rice. The food was good.
Yeah.
I thought the food was good. The decor was a little lacking, but I kind of, once you walk in, you kind of know it's a little more divey, it's a little more hole in the wall. But like my dad has always said, like some of those hole in the wall places have the best food.
I just think their food is really, really simple and really tasty.
I would say it's a sushi bar. You know, it's a place to hang out with friends. We picked Bucktown because of the diversity of the people and business here. Exactly what Bucktown has to offer. Open-minded a lot. A white dragon is a shrimp tempura. Inside, cream cheese, a wasabi masako, which is a marinade, a wasabi flavor, fish egg, a scallion, hot sauce, and then we roll it and we top with the tempura crumbs, wasabi mayonnaise, and eel sauce. That was make us famous for, I guess. We don't have time to do anything. We just make sushi, make white dragon. We just trying to do our best every day, and we always talking about what we can do better tomorrow. Every day we do that, and we make sure everybody do everything right all the time.
Well, I chose Coast because I think it is a superb sushi restaurant. I think if you're interested in BYO sushi, if you're in that part of town, whether you're out on a date or you're with a big group, I think the quality of the fish there is absolutely superb. I think they do a great job with the rolls. There's a couple of rolls that are absolutely superb. The tempura, the white tuna tempura crunch is superb there. Anything with crab inside of it, the way they do that, their spicy mix there, I think is superb. So any roll you get that's got a spice mix in it, I think. Overall, I've worked my way around the menu, and I've never had anything that I had an issue with or wasn't happy with.
I thought the service was phenomenal. We had a group of people who range from kind of know about sushi to no idea about sushi, and our waitress gave us a lot of great recommendations, some rolls that everyone was fighting over the very last one.
Oh, wow.
We had the white dragon roll, which definitely was one of the ones where the last one's sitting there and everyone's like, do you want it? Everyone's trying to be polite before reaching out and just snatching it right off the table. We had a couple of different rolls that I'd never tried before. It was a flying fish roe and a salmon roe. And then there was a little quail egg dropped on there, and that was something I never had.
Everything we ate, for the most part, was delicious, super fresh. They had a special appetizer that we got, the hamachi carpaccio.
We had
which
that too. That was
very
was
good, right? Superb.
Fantastic,
Absolutely
which was
superb.
fantastic and really good. I could have eaten like 6 of those. We had a really interesting roll, a seared tuna with mint and mango.
Oh my.
It was, I can't remember what it's called, sunrise roll maybe or something like that, which was totally delicious. And we had lobster nigiri, which was really good. I mean, put a piece of lobster on rice. It's not going to
No-brainer.
be bad.
Yes. Great ambiance, great food, good location. Go there.
Traditionally, Chicago had a lot of shrimp shacks, I call them. Probably 30 of us back 30, 40 years ago. We opened up in 1948. My father and my uncle were the original owners. It's a family-owned business. We smoke a wide variety of fish. We have salmon, sable, sturgeon, eel, whitefish, catfish, and our house specialty is our smoked shrimp. If it swims, we smoke it. People enjoy, they see this little shrimp shack with a little orange roof, and they come in, they get the whiff of the odor, and they get pumped up and they get excited, and then they start looking around and they go outside, look at the bridge, and look at everything that's around here, and it's just it's a whole experience along with the food. I love this store. It gives me a feeling of my father and uncle still being here. It's a family-run store, and our employees are our family.
I think it's just a great spot. It's so pretty, and it is unlike any seafood in Chicago. They have their own smokehouse, and so they have a big part of the menu is smoked fish, and then they have made-to-order fried fish.
I drove past it 3 times. I kept thinking that can't be it, and it was. It was terrific.
Oh,
the
good.
food was unbelievable. The food was perfect. But I was a little intimidated by the whole process. Yeah, a group of high school basketball players came in behind me, all locals, ready to order what they probably regularly get.
Beating down your neck.
They were, and I had to order, and so I said, I'll have the fish dinner, and didn't know what it was, and after he started frying it, told me that it was the perch, and it was unbelievable. Nutty, the breading was perfect. I don't know what it was. It was delicious.
Well, Shane, what'd you think?
You know, for me, it was one of those places I had not really heard of it before, and we're driving, and we get off the Skyway, and suddenly we're in the middle of nowhere, and I'm like, okay, I know it's supposed to be kind of remote, but I'm not quite sure. Are we lost? And there it is. We see it. We pull up. I went with the shrimp, and then they also I had a pepper garlic salmon, which took home and ate, and was actually been eating for the past week. It's something that we've just had in the fridge and been picking over.
What's my favorite smoked fish going to be?
Salmon. If you're a salmon eater, go with salmon.
It's a good place to bring anyone who you love and have a meal with them.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed our look back at some of the finest seafood spots we featured on the show over the years. And I hope you'll join me around the table for upcoming episodes of Check Please. From all of us on this show and here at WTTW, I'm Alpina Singh, and I'll see you then.
For more information about the restaurants featured on Check Please, go to WTTW.com/checkplease.